Welcome to episode 113 of Crosstown Cardboard. We're calling this one The Hobbies in a Healthy Place, and we'll explain why both myself and Craig have had a healthy and hearty hobby journey over the last 3 months or so since the last time we hopped on the mic here on Crosstown Cardboard. That is Craig, of course, at New York City Sports Cards, the math teacher, the soccer coach in New York City, but originally from Long Island. And I'm Carmine at Carmine's Cards on Instagram, the sports broadcaster, storyteller down here in Greenville, South Carolina, but originally from Westchester County, New York. And we're going to talk about some PC pickups, some show preparation that we have going on as the summer and the sports card summer kicks off. But we already used that title last year, so we can't really use sports card summer, although that's basically what we're getting into. Some changes, some moves in the hobby, and why it's in a healthy place. So, Craig, good to see you again. I can't believe, like you said before we started recording, that we used to do this every single week. But for everybody coming back and catching us more periodically now, it's great to hop back on the mic. So, how's it going for you? And how have the last few months since the last time we've recorded? I know you have a lot going on since then.
Yeah, wow. It's been 3 months since we recorded. A lot has happened. I can't believe we used to do this every single week. I would say there's probably enough happening for me in the hobby to speak on it every week,
Yeah.
but just too much happening in life right now, which we will probably get into later. But yeah, since we last recorded, I set up at a card show in Brooklyn. I went to the Hofstra card show with my dad. He got the full experience, like basically walking with me, telling me. I'm buying cars on eBay, selling on eBay. I'm doing work at the local shop at Alex's MVP for my store credit. That's working out great. There's a new card shop in New York City that's truly one of the best shops I've ever been to. And Fanatics Fest is around the corner. Nationals coming up. Bleeker's been having their trade nights. Good things are happening. That's why I say the hobby's in a healthy place. I'm having fun. It sounds like you've been very successful in what you're doing. The general sentiment when just talking to hobby friends is everyone's enjoying themselves, like it's an actual hobby. Now, obviously, there's a whole other world of fanatics and repacks and wax and yada yada yada. But generally speaking, the people I associate with, everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. That's why I think the hobby's in a healthy place.
Yeah.
General sentiment, general observations. So, yeah,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
No, definitely well put. And I think it is in a healthy place too because we're, it seems like we're totally and completely out of the pandemic boom and the prospecting craze. I mean, I know that still goes on a lot, but and we've probably been out of that for a little while, but it seems like it's regressed into a healthy, sustainable level that it probably was at before, but I'm seeing, a lot of the stuff that I like to buy, the more rare and scarce, and a lot of the pre-Panini stuff is really retaining its value and going back up, whereas a lot of the other, more common stuff is steadily staircase steps down and down and down, over time because there's so much of it. So it's nice to see the emphasis on the more collectible items and the rare, more unique stuff that people like to pick up. But I'm curious to dive a little bit more into what you've had going on before, getting more into me. The Brooklyn show and the new card shop. I'm interested to hear more about those two experiences.
Well, the new card shop is kind of a little bit of a um, exaggeration because it's not new, it's just a new location. DA Card World. Remember, I said they had their temporary pop-up shop located
Yes.
in the Empire State Building. That was their
Hmm.
pop-up. So temporary. They moved to their permanent location, which is just a block away, right on Broadway and 35th, across the street from Macy's. Maybe like the most famous Macy's or one of the most famous stores, period, in
Yeah.
the world. Right across the street from Macy's. And the context with DA Card World is I used to buy boxes from DA online when I was like 9, 10 years old.
Hmm.
They had their first store in Buffalo. They now have a New York City location, and my good friend Steve is the general manager there. And if you recall, he hired my student Christian, who was working there full time as not only he works the floor and does retail, but his title is actually social media manager.
Yes, I remember you saying that. That's great.
So pretty cool. But their new location is 3 times the size of the pop-up location, and it is again right on Broadway in Herald Square. Prime location. Visited for the first time on Thursday because I had off from school for Eid, and the store is so sick. I mean, wax space, memorabilia on the walls, wax selection for days, an extensive layout in the showcase of like nicer, higher end cards. Let's call it 300 plus. And then also a really nice vertical display case of cards, all nicely organized by all sports. That's more of like the $10 to $200 range cards. So something for everyone, reasonably priced, and just such a good location. So to have that and like right in the center of New York City, I'll be honest, it's tough for other shops to compete with that. It really is. But I'm under the mindset that a rising tide raises all ships. So just because they're now existing there in their new location, um, there's still plenty to go around for the other shops. But yeah, like if you visit New York City, it's kind of just a must to visit the new DA Card World shop. And obviously, I love to see one of my best friends and one of my former students working there full time. So yeah, pretty cool. And I went for the first time the other day, picked up a bunch of random things. Speaking of Bobby Portis RPAs that we were talking about. I scooped up this Bobby Portis RPA just because the patches are so nasty.
Yeah, that's
And
a
while I was there, I also picked up. I thought this was a cool one from
I'll let,
2022 Flaw.
should we make
Oh,
this our this will really attract people to watch. This will be our thumbnail with Bobby Portis, two
yeah,
Bobby Portis RPAs.
we're big Bobby Portis RPA guys.
You know, he was the SEC Player of the Year at
Yeah,
Arkansas.
and I loved him on the Knicks.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good
Um,
player.
Other pickup from DA Cardinal, 2022 Flawless Russell Westbrook game worn patch. Perfect card if you just love the city of LA because it's Westbrook in the Clippers uniform, but Lakers patch. I like this one. It's flawless. It's game worn, but it's
Yeah,
also a PSA 10. So the flawless patches are very, very, very tough to gem. I just thought this was a cool, unique enough card to pick up. So yeah,
and co color match with the Clippers jersey too, with the red.
I guess sure,
What do you mean
sure.
you get Clippers has the red? Well, I guess in that particular
Not the one that he's
jersey.
wearing. Yeah,
Okay,
but
okay.
yeah, really good first time experience at the new DA Card Worlds. Definitely recommend it if you visit New York City. And yeah, so that's that. You visited New York City. Did you get to any shops?
I did not. I was really hoping to
Sad,
meet up with you when you were there, but
sad.
you had to go to Miami.
I was in Miami.
So that was just poor timing, but that's okay. Well, because I really want to eventually go to Bleecker together. I can't go to Bleecker without you after all this buildup. That has to be my first experience.
That's fair. I
Um,
wish you would come for a trade night,
yeah, yeah. We'll
which
make it
there
happen.
is a trade night this Thursday, June 12th. Quick plug for Bleecker. One of their typical classic trade nights on a nice end of spring, early summer night. It's going to be perfect.
Yeah, I know you love the West Village in the spring and summer.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, I was in New York in New York City. I visited for my 31st birthday to go back home, see my dad and my friends, and my girlfriend Morgan came with, so that was her first time meeting everybody in person. Of course, she had known them, virtually, just like us, until we
Hmm.
finally met in person. So it was nice for her to see everybody in real life. And then we went to a Knicks game, game two. So I'm still, despite the season being over, I'm still supporting, as I know you are, Craig, and we'll get into your rainbow that you were putting together that I believe is Knicks related.
Yep.
So we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, I was back. Game two was amazing at Madison Square Garden. My uncle pulled out the wallet for the tickets. I think it was 5 grand for 4 tickets, and it was pretty,
Uh-oh.
decent seats. But
Yeah, listen, I was on the Knicks playoff ticket wave, so I'm well aware of like the pricing and all that and everything,
yeah,
but continue.
Yeah, so that was an insane experience, especially with two almost 80-year-old guys who, my dad and my uncle,
Hell yeah.
who went with my girlfriend, and we had a nice Italian dinner beforehand. And then after the Knicks game, the next day we went to a Mets game and we saw the Mets and Dodgers play. So I went with a bunch of my friends and just really cool, kind of speaks to how sports bring everybody together, similar to sports cards. And as far as what I've been doing the last 3 months, I've been covering a lot of golf. You see my mug here if you're watching on the YouTube. I went to the Masters for the first time, covered the Masters, then I went to the US Open, or I'm sorry, the PGA in Quail Hollow in Charlotte. So covered that too. We had before that, all the March Madness with the Gamecocks women's basketball team. Covered
Sports.
Oh yeah, and this is one of the reasons
Sports.
why we scaled it back a little bit with the weekly episodes, but postseason baseball and softball with Clemson and the Gamecocks, trying to make the College World Series. So Yeah, so it's been crazy, and in the process, though, I've been doing a lot of buying and selling.
Oh, I see you. I see you.
Thanks, bro.
You're out there
Yeah,
virtually.
just a bunch. Right, virtually, exactly. So the hobby's in a healthy place virtually and in person from, at least our two perspectives, and would love to hear anybody commenting what you guys think as well. But yeah, just trying to buy things that, and we've talked about this before, but the cool to cost ratio. And I was trying to explain this to Morgan, my girlfriend, last night, and I was like, because I bought this Ezekiel Elliott. She's from Dallas, so everybody in Texas is a Cowboys fan, or if you're anywhere near Dallas. So I bought this Ezekiel Elliott player worn immaculate one of one Nike logo patch for $200. And she was like, "Oh, that's it? That's all it cost?" I said, "Yeah, I actually already sold it before I got it in the mail. I sold it for 280, which I thought was a nice, good little profit, and plus before, having it sold right away."
Yeah.
And so she said, "Wow." I said, "You know what? This is a perfect example to explain the cool to cost ratio, because if you think it's cool at that cost, then it's probably worth looking into to purchase." And so I, went into it on that. But that's basically what I've been doing, is buying those, one of ones or cards you don't see very often that I wouldn't mind keeping, of, proven Hall of Fame guys, and then that they would be worthy of collection pieces for somebody else. Like if this was Larry Bird and this was the card of Larry Bird, would I personally collect it? Because that's my main guy. So could this be a collection piece for somebody else? And how's the cool to cost ratio? And so that's been working out pretty well, and I'm, you know, happy about that. And oh, I also got a swivel chair. If you watch on the YouTube, you
Huge
can
news.
look
Huge
at my
news.
rotation. So that's opened up a whole new world of going from the right to going to the left seamlessly, and
Good for
just
you.
very comfortable. My girlfriend's parents got that for me, a nice leather brown chair, and for my birthday I got a printer from. Remember I was asking you about printing those labels? What service you use? ShipStation
Yep.
through PayPal,
Are
and
you
that's
using PayPal for shipping?
yeah. A lot of the times I take the payment on PayPal
Yeah.
or Venmo, but you can also create your custom label, on ShipStation. So just enter in
Yeah, that's what I
manually.
do. So you're doing that now.
Exactly.
It's great.
Yes,
Easy, right?
I'm doing that now. Yeah. So those are just a couple logistical, more comfortable seating, more mobile seating with the swivel chair, but more importantly with the printer that my mom got me. Now I'm saving like $2 per item. I couldn't believe how, because when I ship in person at the postal service at the USPS, it costs like 6 to 6.50.
Oh,
Now,
no, yeah.
I know it's crazy. I didn't realize how much I was losing on every single transaction. And now with the printer and PayPal and ShipStation, entering it in that way, basically paying like,
4 to 450.
425,
Yeah.
450, yeah.
Yep.
So I'm saving like $2 per shipping item, and I'm like, I lost out on hundreds of dollars throughout the few
So
years.
so until recently, you were still bringing the package to the post office and letting them determine the cost?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, you're so 2000 and late.
I know.
It's okay. Hey, you learn. You learn and you adjust.
I feel like I just discovered the internet by this like little life hack. But that's a good, yeah, I'm glad you let me know about, services to use. And I knew I was losing some money. I didn't know I was losing $2 per item.
It adds up. Definitely adds up.
But yeah, that's been a new discovery over the past few months for me, but it's been great. So
Yeah, good for
um,
you.
yeah, so that's been on the flipping side. But how about what's going on with you with on the collecting side, and then we can get into some of my stuff too.
Yeah. So collecting side, I think we have to just, I don't want to talk too much about the Knicks, but listen, this was a great season, right? Obviously, a little bit of a disappointing at the end. I thought we'd fight more in that game six, but
Yeah.
I don't know. All playoffs, my emotions personally were like this. Never too high, never too low.
Okay,
Down
but
tw
tell
I'm
me
serious.
game one. Tell me game one of the Pacers series with the next few minutes, last few minutes remaining. You weren't freaking out.
Sure, but even so, I think I stayed pretty like I
Sure.
really did think I stayed pretty level-headed all playoffs. I went
Okay.
to game one with my wife and my dad to the Pistons game. That was the campaign game. We had finals tickets, which obviously you get refunded for, but it is what it is. So just like I think my emotions during the playoffs, never too high, never too low. My New York Knicks card collecting, exactly the same.
Mm.
I see all these people on Instagram over the last couple months when all of a sudden it's cool to collect the Knicks. Just like I see all these people on like my personal Instagram who all of a sudden are Knicks fans. Listen, you're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
fooling anyone, all right? That's why I love our Knicks cards group so much because we didn't just create this. This has been going on for years now. So
yeah.
the way I described it to someone is I have been dollar cost averaging Jalen Brunson cards for basically since he joined the Knicks 3 years ago. So I'm never like, ooh, it's the playoffs, time to sell while it's hot, or ooh, it's the playoffs, let me buy now because it's FOMO, or ooh, it's the offseason, now's the time to buy. My mindset always with Brunson, a little bit of Josh Hart, obviously all the classic Knicks were
Bobby
any
Portis.
Bobby Portis, of course. No matter what time of the year it is, whether the Knicks are hot, cold, doesn't matter. I'm constantly adding to my collection. I'm constantly buying
Yeah.
and flipping Brunson stuff. So that has worked out again. I do really well buying like the low end type Brunson stuff, maybe $5 to like $50, and kind of just sell it throughout the season. But yeah, my card collecting personally hasn't really wavered too much, which I guess is a good transition into the rainbow.
Yeah.
Should I just talk about it?
Yes, yes. I want to hear about all the colors.
9 colors, exactly. So 2022 selects, which is obviously Brunson's first year on the Knicks. He's got a cool card where he's doing his, famous pose.
Yeah.
Exactly. So cool card. Some people like die cut, some people don't. But anyway, year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was able to pick up that card. So for context, 2022 select Jalen Brunson die cut card number 122. It's the premier level. So I was able to pick up the gold raw and I graded it. This is numbered out of 10. Super nice card. Love this card. I thought this was just going to be it. And, you know, I would enjoy the golds.
Yeah.
And then a few months back in like March or April, I was able to pick up the black one of one,
Ooh,
the
wow.
die cut, same card. So I got the black, I got the golds. I'm like, great, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are fun. Didn't think much of it. And then across my Instagram feed, maybe 6 weeks ago, I noticed someone had the tie dye out of 25.
Okay.
At this point, I'm like, huh, well, I got the 101, I got the out of 10, I got the tie dye out of 25. Let me inquire about this rainbow here.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you evaluating like which is going to be easier to complete, the Walt Clyde Frazier and Bernard King dual patch auto or the
This rainbow.
rainbow?
And I've never completed a rainbow before. It's kind of not something I set out to do, but it's like, well, I love the card already. I have the
Yeah.
black, the gold, and the tie-dye. Let me look into it more. So I did my research, and they make this card, the Brunson doing his pose. They make the die cut version, as you see here,
Yeah.
and they make the same card but non-die cut, so it's filled in around the outsides.
Yeah.
In the die cut version only, there are 9 parallels. and
Okay.
they're all solid colors. I'm like, 9, okay, that's doable, and I like it because they're all solid colors. If I
Mm.
went for the regular one, not the
Yeah.
die cut, we got blue disco, we got white disco, we got green wave, we got red disco,
My gosh.
we have teal, white, pink, neon orange. There's 4 golds in the non-regular. Gold cracked ice, gold disco, gold flash, gold wave. You can miss me with all that.
Yeah. That's the Fugazi gold, like you say.
There's a lucky envelopes parallel. I mean, neon purple pulsar, black, and then there's 3 different 101s. I'm like, nah, I'm not here for this. So in the die cut version alone, there are 9 parallels, and the toughest one that was going to be to get was the green out of 5.
Wow.
So I look on eBay, and there happens to be one in a PSA 10, and guess whose eBay listing this was?
Koopy cards.
Sharon, Black Jaded Wolf.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yes. So we did an online deal and I met up with her at the most recent Bleecker event. So here is the completed rainbow. Black, 101,
Hmm.
green out of 5. The black's in a PSA 9. The green is in a PSA 10. We've got the gold out of 10 in a PSA 9. We've got the tie-dye out of 25 in a PSA
Ooh,
9.
I like that tie dye.
We've got the light green out of 49 in a PSA 10. I won this on an eBay auction last week. We've got the orange color match out of 65. This one's raw.
Ooh, that's cool.
We've got the purple out of 99, the maroon out of 175, and the blue out of 249. We have a full Brunson 22 select die cut rainbow. Done. 9 for 9.
Wow. Nice job, bro. And
Yeah, it was fun.
I love how the die cut, is almost symbolic because it cut out the extra fat of all the extra parallels you would have had to buy if you had the full card version. You would have had to probably get at least 20, right? Different ones?
I mean, look, there's the die cut has the black 101, right? The
Yeah.
non-die cut version has a black, white, gold 101, a black snakeskin pulsar 101, and a black disco 101. I'm just no.
Yeah.
No, thank you. No,
So
thank you.
it's nice that it made it simpler and easier for you. And
Nine, yeah.
two PSA 10s. That's got to be a hard grade on that die cut.
Yeah, I mean, the four that are non-graded, I'm probably going to grade them just for, uniformity. I can't have five graded and four ungraded. That way,
Mm,
when I put them on display and I take the picture and I post it, it'll look better that way. So, yeah, 9 for 9, super cool. The chase is done, but
yeah.
whatever. I love it. Yeah, I'm
Great.
excited to like put this on display and get like a nice proper picture of it.
Yeah. That's great, bro. Good for you.
Thank you.
First rainbow completed of your favorite player. That's completing it right around the furthest that the Knicks have gone in the playoffs in 25 years. So kind of
Yeah,
probably in the future, if you end up keeping all that together, it'll help you remember this awesome season
yeah,
for the team.
definitely. And relatively affordable project, I would say.
How much do you think it ran you in total?
If I had to put a number on it, I mean, granted, I am going to grade the other ones. I would say the whole thing probably cost me like 2K.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice. And
yeah, that's that.
now it's an art piece altogether.
It is an art piece. That's a fact. So yeah, always adding to the Knicks collection, and there's another example of it. So excited about
Nice,
this.
bro. You want me to talk about a PC pickup I had?
Talk about it.
So this PC pickup, I think persistence is such a big quality when you're picking up PC cards. I'm sure you've been there before, but I messaged this guy on eBay. The first message was probably a month and a half ago, and let's see, yep, April 28th.
Okay.
So we're recording this on June 8th, and I've just recently gotten the card. Um, and it took until let me see the date. Uh, so it was May 22nd. So it took almost a full month from April 28th from the first message where I followed your advice and sent a screenshot of a photo that I took saying message me on Instagram to make a
Amazing.
deal on eBay. He messaged me on Instagram from that screenshot that I sent on eBay. And that was April 28th, and we closed the deal on May 22nd.
Okay. Playing hard to
So
get.
so I had to really continue following up with this guy. And because I really wanted to do mostly trade on this card because it was around a $2,000 card. To make a long story short, after almost a month, like I said, of trying to offer this guy a trade, we finally got something done. He was very busy in his own life. He was actually messaging me from a Muay Thai account. It's Tag Muay Thai. He has 127,000 followers on his Muay Thai account.
Wow.
So yeah, there's obviously a niche for everything because we live in the sports card Instagram space. But apparently there's a mixed martial arts Instagram space as well to have over 100,000 followers.
Well, now it makes sense why he was having a hard time finding some Muay time for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was great, bro. You still got it.
Still got, come on.
So yeah, so obviously he didn't have a lot of time for me, so it took almost a month, but we finally got something done, and it was an 8 card for one deal. I'm going to tell you the eight I gave away first, not gave away, traded. And so it took a long time because he was trying to figure out it. Basically, this card last sold for 1850 on eBay. He bought it, and he wanted a very healthy. We mentioned sports cards are in a healthy place. He wanted a healthy markup if I was
Sure.
trading him. He wanted about 2,500 worth of trade on his 1850 purchase, which I thought, okay, it's strong, but I'm gonna PC this, and also I'm probably gonna be into these 8 cards for still less than the 1850 that this card last sold for, even though it's 2,500 on paper. So I traded him an Obi Toppin. Here's the photo if you're looking.
Wow, you finally got rid of that Obi Toppin blue ice card.
Yes, and that was the only good thing about the Pacers making the run was that this Obi Toppin made it
Yeah.
a little more desirable, even though ironically he's in the Knicks uniform going against the Pacers. But
I remember when you bought that. It was at Culture Collision.
that's right. Yep, yep. And I've had it ever since.
Nice.
So I've had it for a long time. But it's a
Long
nice
time.
blue ice Obi Toppin. Shout out to Ossining High School. You know, we went to the same high school, me and
Sure.
Obi. And actually worked with him way back in the day, a little practice to help him get where he is now. So, Blue Ice, Prism Rookie, Obi Toppin, PSA 10. How about this one, Craig? I got this from Jeff. Jeff's cards. You know, he always has the pop culture. I traded him for a Topps Finest Carmen Electra autograph, numbered at a 30, in a PSA 10 Auto 10. It's a pop one.
Okay.
So for some reason, that was included in the deal. It's a unique, cool card. Clyde Drexler, Immaculate Autograph. I have a Ultimate Collection dual game used patch, Tracy McGrady and Kevin Garnett. So kind of cool there. Rookie Auto, Ultimate Collection Rookie Auto numbered at a 250. Chris Paul, BGS 9 with a 10 auto. Dan Marino, Colossal number 13, you could see the game used jersey in the number 13 on card auto, National Treasures, numbered out of 25. And a Jerry West from the iconic 1999 UD Legends set on card auto, PSA 1010. And this is a pop 3 with a card grade of a 10 and an auto 10. So
10-10's tough, but I don't think you're gonna miss anything there.
no, no, definitely nothing here. What these are definitely cool cards, and I'll
Yeah.
I'll show the total picture here again of the 8 that I traded away. Definitely cool cards, but nothing that was like a collection piece for me.
Mhm.
So, and I made sure when I was offering trade that, I offered cards that I'd be willing to part with for this one, which was basically everything in my inventory. And so those 8 cards, and I ended up after a month of trying to negotiate with the Muay Thai Instagram star. I ended up with the,
Nice.
yeah, 2005 Ultimate Collection, numbered out of 25, Bird and Magic, dual auto with the hard court design
It's great.
in a PSA 9 with a 10 auto grade. And you'll remember, Craig, because I was with you when I got the other one for a little double trouble for a little twinning of the same card. I got this with you at the National from Prism God on a trade.
I
This,
remember. Yeah, yeah, that was like the first thing you did.
yeah, yeah, just went right to it. Already had the trade organized at the last National in Cleveland. And so now I'm matching. So I got the one that I got with you at the last National, the BGS 9.5 with the 10 auto of the same card. And now I got the PSA 9 with the 10 auto of the '05 Ultimate Collection Bird and Magic autograph numbered out of 25. So, when I took a page out of your
Yeah.
book, Greg, because we were just talking about the Bernard King and Walt Clyde Frazier dual patch auto numbered out of 25. What do you have, 4 or 5 of those
I
right
have
now?
five of the 25.
5 out of 25. So I only have 2 out of 25. But when there's a card that you really like, why deviate? And if it comes up and you can trade for it, even though it took almost a month and a lot of following up, I wrote a
Worth
lot
it.
of messages.
Definitely worth it.
Definitely worth it now, but I wrote a lot of messages. I was thirsty. I felt like a guy or in a relationship trying to beg somebody to go on a date with them. I was following up. I was unsending my last message on Instagram, resending it again a day or two later.
You did the unsend resend.
Yeah.
I like
And
it.
and and
Good for you. It
I've
worked
had
out. It worked
I
out.
it did work out, and I've had to do that a few times. I've noticed the hobby in general is in a healthy place, but I feel like the communication could definitely be better with, when you're trying to work out a deal. just don't leave people on red. You know, we've talked
Ugh.
about that. Don't leave them on scene, see the message, and then you don't know where you stand, and now I got to follow up or, something like that. Just the respectful communication, please. And I know most people do it, but it makes it very difficult to get deals done.
Yeah, well, listen, there's just something about Upper Deck basketball products with dual autographs of our favorite players that make us want multiple copies of that card.
That must be what it is.
That's
And
what it is.
speaking of that, I got another PC collection piece from Upper Deck, Master Collection, Magic Johnson, the iconic Master Collection from 2000, on card auto numbered out of 50. This one says 12-time All-Star. I had the 5-time NBA champion one. And I got these from Dave,
Dave.
The Magic Johnson man in Australia, who I've mentioned many times. So I got a BGS 9.5 in another Master Collection Magic Johnson auto from him, but it was like I said, the 5-time NBA champ, and it was in a 9.5. That I didn't really want that card in that grade because it was too expensive. I ended up selling it for like 1,600, or no, maybe 15 or 1450 in a few card deal, and I was only into it for like 700. So I pretty much doubled my money on that one, which I was really happy about because the BGS 9.5 grade was a little subjective as far as how much that added to it. I thought it added a lot more when I was selling it versus when I purchased it, what we valued it at. And I have four more Magic Johnsons coming in the mail from Dave, and I'm planning on collecting two of them, keeping two of them in my collection. The other one is another master collection, the third master collection that I will have gotten from Dave. And if you know this set, it's a classic, from 2000, 25 years old now. It rarely comes up for sale. And so it's just one of the coolest sets that I think is out there. And also, Craig, this chronology, as you know, that set.
The silver ink is really nice on the chronology, and it's like a matte finish.
Yes, and it has that like canvas. It's almost like an art
Yeah.
canvas.
That's
Yeah.
what I meant. That's what I meant by matte finish. Yeah.
Yeah. So these also hardly ever come up, which is why I want to keep this in my collection, this Magic Johnson chronology. And it's a perfect photo of his junior skyhook that he beat the Celtics with in the NBA Finals at the last few seconds. So that's really cool. And then these other two I'll probably try to sell. Both in a BGS 9.5 if you're watching on the, or no, one is in a BGS 9.5, one is in a BGS 9. This SP Authentic Magic Johnson auto in a BGS 9.5 from 0405. Cool set there, tough grade. And then another really awesome set, SP Authentic Chirography on the bottom. That's numbered out of 25. And that's from 2007. So four more Magics coming in, two for the collection, two to hold until the right price comes along. So shout
Good
out
for
to
you.
Dave, all the way
You're
from
back
us.
on. You're back on the Magic train too. I feel like you were a bird only guy for a while.
Yeah,
You're back.
I know. I
Good
got
for
the
you.
I got the combo with the duel, and then that reminded me, man, the Magic man. I gotta, and plus with the rarity of the sets, that's also what it is. It's not just Magic; it's the coolness and the scarcity of these sets that I'm getting in the master collection and the chronology. It's like, all right, I'm not gonna probably see this again. I should hold on to
Yeah.
these.
I mean, I think they only did 1 year of chronology without looking it up. I want to say that's 07, 08. So Kevin Durant's rookie year. I think that's the only year they did chronology, but that's one of those sets that's stood the test of time for sure.
Definitely. And I'll just as you go into your next story, Craig, I'll just go through the photos of the Magics that I'm getting here on the YouTube.
Nice.
But yeah, the chronology is, I mean, that's an iconic set. So in the master collection,
I'm proud of you. You're staying in your lane. You're sticking to your
dude,
guns. Like you continue to go all in on Bird and Magic. I continue to go all in on my Knicks collection. We like what we like.
that's right,
Um,
bro. Thank you.
I can tell you that hobby's in a healthy place because I went to the Hofstra card show with my dad about a month ago, and we did a little bit of everything. We bought, we sold, we traded, we authenticated some autographs. It was
Mm,
such a good experience. And my dad really saw the experience, like me walking around, saying hi to people that I know, the negotiations. He got the full experience. And let me tell you, he was exhausted by the end of the
Yeah,
day.
I was gonna say because I remember the first time when we met up at the National in 2023, the first time we ever met in person, and right away you're going from it was such a it was like being overstimulated through your stimulation of going meeting. Oh, I know this guy. Let me talk to him for a second. Oh, this table has something cool. Boom, boom, and you're going. You're which is great. That's the energy that a card show brings. But yeah, I could see him being exhausted afterwards.
Yeah, not even the overstimulation, and more just because I was a little more patient and slow, understanding I was with my dad. It was
Right.
just like being on our feet for 7 hours.
Yeah.
In fairness, I was the first person in line to get some autographs authenticated by JSA, and it took them way too long. But I digress. My dad entered the show. I'm like, Dad, like we got to get you something. He's so used to. We used to go to the Hofstra show 10, 15, 20 years ago, and we would just go straight to the guy with the boxes and buy boxes. And I think my dad didn't realize how expensive wax has gotten
Yeah.
and how not interesting the products are anymore.
Yeah.
We used to chase autographs and game use cards. Now you're chasing pink and purple sherbert disco waves out of 162. So like what, it's
Right.
nice.
Right.
So once my dad realized that we stick to the singles, the first thing he said was Big O, Oscar Robertson. I'm like, we got to get you an Oscar Robertson autograph. So we went over to,
Interesting.
to John behind the diamonds.
Oh
I
yeah.
traded
He's gonna
him,
have some. Yeah.
of course. So I traded him one card just to get a little knock off a little bit of cash from it. But my dad came away with a really nice Oscar Robinson on-card autograph from Opulence, which I think is 2018-19. Pretty high-end set. And then he's a Sandy Koufax collector. So we
Yeah.
found him. I forgot which it was from the 60s, low grade like SGC 1.5. Because for my dad, he doesn't care if he's getting a high grade Koufax or a low grade. Just is there a card he doesn't have?
Yeah.
So he came away probably total that cost us 125, and he came away with an Oscar Robertson autograph and a Sandy Koufax graded card that he didn't have. So like that's a lot of fun for the cost. Really not bad at all.
Great cool to cost ratio on
Yep.
that fun.
And proud moment for me when my dad comes over to me. He's like, "Hey, look, I made a deal with this guy over here," and he had like a Mikal Bridges game worn jersey card and a Josh Hart autograph, both of them in the Knicks uniform. And my dad did the negotiating without me. So I'm like, Dad, awesome work. So proud of you. Yeah.
That's great.
But
Was that for his collection or for yours?
he just gave it to me. So now I'm like, well, I can't sell these because they were a
No.
gift from my dad. But I always like to come anytime I spend a full day at a show, I feel like I have to come out of there with some PC card. Some
Yeah.
card that I'm not just buying to flip or to have an inventory, something I want to keep. So luckily he saw this whole negotiation happen. It was with my buddy Adam Schraman. Him and his friends have their own little company. And so they were set up at Hofstra. I'm like, yo, Schraman, I got a whole stack of like 150 to 200, $2 cards and top loaders. I have a few low end stuff. Like, take all this from me. I can give you great value, and let me just consolidate this all into a couple of cards, which I was able to do.
Okay.
Probably took like 15, 20 minutes. So my dad got to witness that happening. So I was able to consolidate a bunch of stuff. Like, we're really talking stuff, just
Stuff.
stuff, just stuff
Stuff. Yes.
into these two cards that I love. This is the 2008 Upper Deck Premier Jackie Robinson quad game worn jersey out of 40.
Wow, that's a sharp looking card.
Dude, this had a comp for 200 at the time. Talk about cool to cost ratio.
Yeah, big time. I
Big
love
time.
that. I love that border.
So nice. I mean, Upper Deck Premier was a great baseball product.
Yeah. Wow, great pickup.
Along with, I always wanted one of these 2005 Diamond Kings, Babe Ruth, game worn jersey and bat.
Oh my gosh, bro. Good for you. You got a Babe Ruth and a Jackie Robinson game
Yeah,
used
man.
card
These
from,
are these
from
are timeless pieces. Timeless pieces.
wow.
This one's numbered out of 50, jersey and bat. This one's numbered out of 40, quad jersey. And I traded just a bunch of stuff. There probably wasn't a card in there worth more than 40 bucks. And I threw cash on top, and I was able to clear a bunch of space, lighten my load, and I came home with two great PC cards, the
Oh,
Babe and Jackie Robinson game one stuff. So yeah, my,
man.
my, my type of cards right here.
Good for you, bro. That's probably along with maybe Mickey Mantle, the top tier of cards that
Baseball
I've
legends.
yeah, that's exactly. Good for you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my dad had the full experience with me. We got some baseballs authenticated because my sister's neighbor. We went over that in a previous episode.
Yes,
How
you were moving the couch from the front to the
Yeah, there you
backyard,
go.
right? You had to go
So
through the house.
he had a Hank Greenberg autographed baseball. He had a Willie Mays autographed baseball. So we got those. I got those authenticated, then I sell them. Yada yada yada. So yeah, we were doing a little bit of everything at Hofstra. My dad was there for the whole thing, and it was a good time. It was a healthy experience. Going back to
Oh,
the theme.
I like how you put a button on that. So let's talk about your big pickup. You've been teasing this. We've been, we're trying to be newsworthy here with my local news savviness, and we buried the lead.
All right.
So we wanted to keep people listening this whole time.
Yeah.
So I revealed my big PC pickups here. What about yours?
My heart's racing. All right.
Oh my gosh, I have
I,
not seen this.
I think this is the biggest pickup of my life.
Wow.
I'm gonna give you a few hints, and we'll see if you can guess.
Okay.
Okay. Um, First hint. It's a one-on-one.
Okay, nice.
It's expensive. So you ever split a card with someone?
I don't think I have. No.
Okay. This is expensive, so I did have to split it with someone.
Okay. Is this
Um,
a PC card though?
for life.
So what are you gonna eventually pay this person off?
Let me just get to it.
Okay, okay.
Unlike Babe Ruth and Jackie Robinson, their career is just getting started.
Oh, really? So it's a
Yes.
PC card of a current player,
And I don't think it would fit in a PSA slab, but it looks like I think it's a PSA 10.
but it's bigger than a PSA slab potentially. So it's bigger than a card size.
And I don't really have it in hand. So I'm gonna send you a picture to your phone so you could see it.
Okay.
Where the heck is
I
this?
have no idea what this is. So it's not a card or it is a card?
I gave you your hints.
Is it a booklet?
I gave you your hints.
I feel like I'm playing Guess Who and I'm trying to
All
put
right.
down the names.
I sent it to your phone.
Okay.
It has not gone through yet.
Oh, here we go. I got it.
Here we go.
Oh my gosh. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a reveal.
All right. You like that?
Oh my gosh. If you're watching on the YouTube, look at this guy, what he sent me. Oh, I can't believe how you led me down that entire road. And if you're not watching on the YouTube, Craig sent me a photo of him holding photos of his future child with Teddy, his dog, looking up at his future brother
So if you want to,
or
I figured
sister.
I'm so glad you didn't pick up on that right away. But if you think about it, 101, expensive. So I'm splitting it with someone. Their career is just getting started, and it wouldn't fit in a PSA slab.
Extremely well done on that. But
Thank you.
congratulations with the sonogram photos here. And so you must have found out how long have you known this?
Over a month.
Wow, good for you, bro.
But Rachel is entering her second.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Rachel's entering her second trimester, so I think it's okay to talk about it.
Yeah, that's great. So
Yeah.
everything's healthy, going
Yeah.
well.
Healthy. Everything's good.
Ah, good for you, bro. Are you gonna
Thank
wait
you.
until or one of my buddies, actually, you'll be my second really close friend to have a kid. I just went through this with a close friend from college, and he finally had a healthy baby boy, which was almost 10 pounds when it came out,
Damn.
which is
Hefty
like
boy.
97th percentile of height and weight combined.
Hell
And
yeah.
yes, but he waited until birth to figure out if it was going to be a boy or a girl. Are
Oh,
you?
nah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I know. I was like, wow, what a surprise you're going to have. So you're going to find out beforehand.
Yeah, we know already.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What is it?
What do you think it is?
I'm going to say a boy.
Yeah, you got
Yeah, because
it.
just based on your excitement level, I would assume.
What do you mean? I would have been excited as long as it's a
I,
healthy baby. That's all that matters.
I know. I'm sure you would have, but I think when guys, and you can obviously you've been here now. When guys have their first kid, it's a little comforting to know, okay, a boy, I've been there before, I've experienced that, probably better
Yeah.
equipped to handle that, I would guess.
But listen, I'm so like over the moon excited.
Oh
But
yeah.
if we're gonna keep it to cards, definitely like changes the way you think a little bit. When I have disposable income at this point, it is
Yeah.
not going to cards.
Yeah.
It is going to saving, and mostly saving. Don't get me wrong, I'm still having my fun and I'm dabbling a little bit here and there. But if I have X amount of dollars left over after a paycheck, how can I possibly justify spending that on cards when I know there's a child coming in 6 months and we're gonna need that extra money for daycare and diapers and everything,
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Good thing you already completed the rainbow.
right? Exactly.
Then you'd be stuck on like the out of 249. You're like, I have a $15 card I have to get, but I
Yeah.
can't. That could be diapers right there.
But all of a sudden, all this talk about what do I want my card collection to look like in the future, when I want to be able to pass my collection on to my future kids, well, now it's real, baby. We're here.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right around the corner. So this is gonna really adjust your purchasing style, huh? You're gonna really be probably laying low for a little while.
I'm dabbling. I'm coaching track this spring, so the little extra paycheck allows me to have some fun.
Okay.
But thank God I'm working at the card shop where I'm able to make sales and use that for store credit because
Mm.
I'm able to build my collection without actually having to pay for it.
And you
Sorry,
know
not
what's great
my
too?
inventory. My inventory, yes.
Yeah, you could never get cash out of that situation. So you would never be able to actually use money toward your future child because you're getting it in store credit. So you're never getting cash to begin with. So
Yeah,
you
and
you can't feel bad about it either, which is nice.
yeah, and then when I do get something from the store, and let's say I sell it on eBay, for example, the difference is as of late, if I sell a card on eBay, instead of it going right back into cards, it kind of just goes into the everyday fund.
Nice.
Like all my hobby transactions aren't just staying within the hobby. It's kind of a little bit
Hmm.
blending together. And yeah, because that's just life right now.
Ah, well, good for you, bro. I'm
Thanks,
happy
man.
for you. You're gonna stay in the same place? Or you guys looking for a new place or you got room planned out for a new.
We're here for now. I did take a new teaching job.
Wow, bro, good for you. My
Yeah,
gosh,
things
I'm
are
getting
things
I'm
are
getting all
happening.
the I'm getting all the updates.
I haven't told my card. I'm trying to keep it to the cards, but I ran card club at my school for the last like 5 years.
Yeah.
So that's no more. I haven't told my students yet, but hey, maybe I could bring Card Club to my new school because they seemed to really, in the interview, they seemed to really like that and, just doing clubs and extracurriculars. So if I could do Card Club in my new location, that would be great. But sadly, that is the end of an era for Card Club at
Mhm.
my current school where it started. But I needed a change, and this is all for the best.
So, what do you think about the few years that you had building Card Club up, going on these field trips, and just the awesome stuff that you guys went through, like remembering that experience a little bit, and now that it's, coming to an end, what you'll take away from it?
I'm just gonna be honest. There's nobody that will ever do it like me.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. There's no other like organization around trading cards and kids I think that will ever be able to replicate what I did. And that's not really me like so much talking highly about myself, more so like the situation and the context and the fact that I actually know my kids. Like anything that's done for kids in the hobby is great and all, but it's done by vendors or influencers who don't actually know these kids. There's nothing like students that you have formed real, genuine, meaningful relationships with, and
Mhm.
then you introduce them to cards because there's already that level of trust built in.
Right.
So that's why it was able to be so successful because I already had a great rapport with the students. Then we, expanded that to Bleecker events, Fanatics, DA Card Worlds, donations, buying and selling at shows. And then to tie a bow on Card Club, me and the rest of Card Club will be going to Fanatics Fest this year at the end of this month.
Great.
So that's I got them 3 day passes. Shout out to SNY, home of the Mets, for hooking it up, and Fanatics obviously for the free tickets. So one last hoorah with Card Club will be at Fanatics Fest.
Good for you, bro. What a way to send everybody off,
Yep.
with but witnessing it from the outside, it is really incredible what you were able to do. And I only witnessed it for 3 years. So and you built it, for a couple
Yeah.
years before that. So I'm sure that, the experiences that they're taking from it won't be matched, like you said. And they learned a lot, had a lot of fun, and now they're prepared to be college card club kids and doing things on their own. So
There you go. Yeah.
great. You left card club in a healthy spot.
Full circle. The hobby's in a healthy place. The baby's in a healthy place.
Hmm.
Card Club's in a healthy place. Yeah. Everything's
That's
good.
great. That's great. So Just a couple more things before we wrap up. I wanted to talk about how I'm trying to get in a healthy place with collecting other people who aren't Larry Bird number one and Magic two as well. If I find a really cool card, I'm being less afraid to PC it or thinking about being less afraid because usually if it's not Larry Bird and not Magic Johnson, it's very difficult for me to PC it or a Knicks, lower end autograph or an
Hmm.
inscription. I've been getting into the inscriptions like you saw too.
But you've been into it.
Yeah, I've loved the inscriptions. The Let's Get Ready to Rumble, Bruce or no,
Yep.
Michael Buffer.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Who do you think you are? I am. Yes. Uh, from the bowling lanes, Pete Weber. So, but recently I picked up two. I picked up this Randy Moss autographics from 1999, Skybox, on card auto. Black ink is in really good shape. These are iffy
It's
with
something.
fading on this. So I got this from Mikey's Cards, and it's only about a $200 card, but and it's not his rookie Skybox autographics because he had that in the Marshall
Marshall,
uniform.
yeah,
When,
98.
yep, 98 when he was a Heisman Trophy finalist. But to me, this is his first Skybox autographics in a pro uniform. So to me, it is almost, even though it's not his rookie year, it's his first year of Skybox autographics. The purple design on it, I mean, everything about this is retro from the design to you see the starter logo on his game jersey pants here.
Hmm.
So and I really like Randy Moss, just electrifying player and still on air and now going through his health battles as well.
Yep.
But it's just a cool autograph of a guy who I don't really collect, but if I was to get like one collection piece, this would be a cool one to hold on to, not too expensive and very cool. And so I'm kind of going with that philosophy of some of my other, next favorite athletes getting something that's a collection piece and maybe just having one of them. And then if I find a different one down the road, maybe swapping it out. But being like, okay, this isn't my main collection guy, but let me collect one card of this guy. Like I have one Joe Montana
I get
autograph,
that.
the Joe Cool notable nicknames like that.
I get
Uh,
it.
yeah,
To a lesser degree, I have a really nice Tyson Chandler Knicks card. So someone sent me
yeah,
one last week. I'm like, that's a great card, but I have one Tyson Chandler already. I don't feel like I need to. I just need that one representation in my collection, and that's it.
exactly. And so just the last one of this philosophy on that, this PSA 10 flawless Kareem Abdul-Jabbar cut autograph numbered out of 25. This only sold for $394. I paid 380 for it, so I paid like 97% of what it sold for,
Sure.
which I was fine with because it doesn't come up. It's in a PSA 10, it's a pop 2, and it's just a very cool card in the UCLA uniform. And one of the reasons why I'm thinking of having this be my PC card of this all-time great, kind of in this new collecting lane, is that on the back it talks about how the dunk was made illegal because of Kareem, and then, he started even leaning more into the sky hook as his iconic shot from there. So I like the story it tells. You have the PC card of Jalen Brunson with the Justin Bieber
Yep.
info on the back and that little blurb. So I thought, this might be my Kareem PC card, and this might be my Randy Moss PC card. Just, mentioning like these other favorite athletes, other all-time greats, and one card that represents them in my collection.
I dig it. It's
Thanks, bro.
great.
So just
Um,
a tangential little new lane there.
but it's healthy to have a small representation of multiple players in your PC.
Very well said. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
that's
so.
why. Listen, like Babe Ruth, right? Now Babe Ruth is represented in my PC.
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
Well, I think that's it. What do we have coming up? Fanatics Fest,
Yep.
National. Bleecker is doing a ton of events leading up to Fanatics Fest. So basically, like all week, and then the nights after, there's always something happening at Bleecker. And I mean, for me at this point, it's just I go hang out with my friends, we kick it. It's great vibes.
Yeah. That's great, bro. I have the Carolina Card Show that I'm planning on setting up at in Columbia, South Carolina, which is the capital home of the South Carolina Gamecocks. It's about an hour and a half drive from me here in Greenville. But hoping to set up both days. I think that's at the end of this month, so it's going to be um, June 28th and 29th if you're anywhere near South Carolina or near Columbia. I remember going to that show last year, and I went as a spectator, and it was busy. It was probably over 100 tables, a lot of foot traffic, so I'm excited because I've been building up my inventory,
I
and
noticed.
yeah, and so I picked up an Asia Wilson autograph, the legendary South Carolina Gamecock, delivering them their first championship, 2017. I've actually been getting a little more into WNBA, which has been cool. I got a Cameron Brink rookie card. Here it is, numbered out of 25 in the
Solid.
variation photo. Yeah, so this is
Mojo.
cool.
Cool.
Prism rookie numbered out of 25, Cameron Brink. I got an Arike Agunbowale, one of one.
Yep, I've seen that. That's
Gold
another one that's
one.
been making it's been on repeat.
Yes, I know. I need to sell this. But I'm under comps on this actually. The one of one. Here you see it, Arike. Game winners, bro, in the Final Four and the championship at Notre Dame. That'll probably never be done again. So great score, but WNBA is fun. And plus, with the summer coming up, that's going to be one of the few things on, along with
True.
Major League Baseball. So,
Very true.
um, but yeah, so I got that. I'm not going to be going to the National this year in person. I'm instead going to be taking a staycation with my girlfriend and then a trip to Toronto with my mom. Like we went to Italy last year, so we try to keep up the streak of doing one big vacation a year. So I'll be living vicariously through your experience, and then I'm sure uh, either before or after, or maybe both, we'll hop on the mic and see how it was and see how Fanatics Fest was also.
Most definitely. But yeah, to recap, I think based on what our anecdotes today, hobby's in a healthy place for us. We didn't even touch upon breaking and repacks and all that because that just feels like another universe. I
Yeah.
think when we talk about those who just buy and sell and collect cards, don't really break, don't really are not on like whatnot. That's another universe. We're kind of just referring to our lane. In our lane of single cards, trying to find some hidden gems, buying and selling and trading, things are as good as they've ever been, I think,
Mhm.
and you seem to think so as well.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think we have a healthy balance between the PC and the flipping, and that balance is going to be refocused for you based on your future PC acquisition that you split with a partner. I don't know how exactly you guys are going to balance out that new PC edition financially, but obviously you're in a good spot with that, and congratulations again
Thank you, bro. Thank
on
you.
that. Yeah, that's great.
My little card collector, my little
Yeah.
homie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're gonna have to start a mini card collection now. Another one.
Car Cards by Joe also has a son on the way, but his, I think,
Congratulations, Joe.
his is this month. I think his wife is due, so I can't wait for the first time me and Joe are walking around the show with our little baby strapped up against our chests. You know, where they're too young to really do much.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So good times ahead. Really good times
that's
ahead.
great.
I
That's
can't wait
gonna
to
be
be a
fun.
dad
That's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see a picture of that.
for sure. Yeah, but keep up the good work in South Carolina.
Thank you, bro.
Glad we got to hop on here, and yeah, life's good.
Yeah. And we'll see everybody else when we see or hear from you in the card collecting world. But for right now, the hobby is in a healthy place and great to hop back on the mic.
Amen. Peace.